Hey guys, it's a beautiful sunny day today. I don't know exactly where we're at, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And as you can see, we got some large animals here.
We are kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're actually in Acton, California, just north of Los Angeles. And we're Apex Protection Project. We are a nonprofit wolf dog rescue, advocacy, and education organization. Thanks
Awesome.
for joining us.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think they're hungry.
Oh, look. Verne has some hot dogs. Well, we heard that you went to the LA Zoo recently and got a backstage tour of all the animals, and we saw that there were no wolves there, so we wanted you to have an experience with wolves as well. And these wolf dog ambassadors are a great experience to have.
Definitely. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, they're so big. I don't have any more. You can lick my fingers though. But yeah, this is a great organization that my friend was able to find, and you know, I had a half wolf German Shepherd back in Texas, so just having this opportunity to come out and hang out with wolves is a great experience. And they're hungry.
And they're hungry, but they're gentle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they tend to be really shy. But they're warming up a little bit, which is nice. These are puppies. So this is Thor. And Thor and his brother Loki, we rescued at 3.5 weeks old, which is really rare. Most wolf dogs we rescue are usually around a year old and a little bit older once they start to demonstrate their more wily side. And people realize that they're a lot more to handle than, well, you had one.
Yeah.
So they're a lot more to handle than your average dog, and most people don't have the time or energy to, you know, dedicate to caring for an animal that's close to a 2-year-old child.
Wow.
So raising puppies from 3.5 weeks old, we had to find a special wolf formula to feed them. We were up all around the clock. Our entire volunteer team was here to help us raise them. And they've become amazing ambassadors. And we take them to schools. We do school presentations and community outreach, and they're wonderful. They really make an impact on the public, and it's nice being able to give this experience to people firsthand so they can really feel the gentle nature of wolves instead of what we've been raised to believe.
Right, right.
You know?
And just teach people about, you know, how beautiful these creatures are. Paula, so how did you actually get started?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've always loved wolves since I was a little girl, and I'm actually from New York City. So I never imagined in a million years that I would be working with wolves. I always thought it would just be something that I loved from afar. But about 8 years ago, Steve, my husband, and I, we had the opportunity to start volunteering with a local wolf dog rescue.
Okay, was this in New York? Or?
No, this is once we moved out to LA.
Oh, okay.
We found a wolf dog rescue and we went up to visit it, and after meeting the animals that day, we decided we would never wanted to leave again, so we started volunteering more and more, and we started going up 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Next thing we knew, you know, we were looking at our careers that we had and looking at the clock and going, when am I out of here so I can go work with the wolves? Until we finally decided to take the jump.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because we realized how important it was. You know, there's so many of these animals that need rescue. And of course, the wolves in the wild right now are being just slaughtered, you know, nationwide, to the point where they're constantly being put back on the endangered species list.
Yeah.
And people just don't realize how important they are to our ecosystem, you know, and keeping it balanced and healthy. So we wanted to find a way that we could, you know, help the animals that needed rescuing, but also educate the general public, hopefully not just in California, but across the country, and start changing the minds of people so that they want to support wolves instead of being afraid of them, and they start to understand how important they are, so that we start protecting not only wolves, but all of our wildlife.
So what wolf are we seeing now?
This is Sarge. Sarge is our newest rescue. We rescued him from Oregon about 6 months ago. He was part of a situation where the family was separating. He's learned how to get out, so he's trying to get out.
You got the lock off already.
He's a stinker. But He actually had broken his leg,
Oh,
and
wow.
his owners weren't sure how they were going to have that repaired because they knew it was going to be incredibly expensive. They were going through a family situation that was really unpleasant at the time too, so there was a lot going on. So he really needed rescue, and as time grew shorter, they knew that there was not much time before having to dump him, at the shelter because they didn't have any other options. So we finally stepped forward and said we would give it a shot, even though we didn't really have the finances for the surgery. We felt like we could possibly raise the money,
Okay.
and we were able to. There's a really amazing vet that works with us and does all of our exotics, and has really done an amazing job in taking care of our animals for us.
Awesome.
And they're called the Little Angels Project. It's a nonprofit as well that raises money so they can give nonprofits discounts, and they can do free surgeries and free care for people who can't afford it for their animals, which
Okay.
is beautiful.
Yeah, generally in the wild, they don't eat every day. In captivity, they do. So once in a while, we kind of recreate that, and we just fast them for the day, kind of resets their systems and gets their, stomachs feeling good again, and then ready for the food. So it really helps them out too. So today they're on a fast day, which is why they're particularly hungry.
So this is Merlin,
Okay.
and we rescued Merlin. He was 6, so we've had him, in one capacity or another for 4 years. We started Apex Protection Project about 2 years ago, and he came with us from the sanctuary that we worked at
Wow.
because we have a really unique bond with him. He's very wild.
Okay.
He has a lot of wild behavior, and
So you don't really put him in with the others at all?
unfortunately not. He's very loving. He really loves people, and his emotional life is really deep,
Okay.
really complex. But he has a lot of trust issues, and he usually will, if he becomes afraid in a moment, he might express that through aggression,
Okay.
out of fear, where he feels like he needs to protect himself with other animals. So we're very careful in who we introduce him to. He and Taboo got along for a very short time. It took them 2 years to become friends, and then he became uncomfortable in a situation, and they got into a fight, and she's never forgiven him since.
Oh.
So we've been working on that. So what we do is, because wolves bond through migration, we hike them on leash together.
Okay.
And we might not let them necessarily interact, but we let them just kind of hike and get comfortable with one another. So they're comfortable and they're walking, but they may not, interact with one another. And then eventually, after we do that enough times, hopefully we'll see them relax to a point where they might actually go into play stance and kind of be ready for that.
All your wolves are like so beautiful, and it's just a great honor to be here and meet them and meet you guys and see what you guys do. I think it's very special. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this episode, hit the like button down below, and stay tuned. I'll always have something different coming up in the next videos. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MailTime. As you can see, I got some packages here.